Hey, what's up, David? This is a demo video for you for 4 saber installs, all from KR Sabers. So you have the Maul staff and the Snips set. We're going to go over the Snip set first, just because each chassis is a little bit different. They're only different in size. They're basically set up the same, but they hold different size batteries. All right, so the small one also is a one-button setup, and your one switch is going to be right here, where the larger one, the Sheen, is going to be a two-button setup. All right, so there is a difference in that as well. But to get to your chassis, what you want to do is just unscrew your handle here, or I'm sorry, your pommel rather. Unscrew your pommel, you'll see your chassis. You can pull it right out. All right, and this is what this looks like. So these are all CFX installs today. I know you're a bit of a CFX guy. So this one holds an 18350. You've got your single switch setup right here. All 4 of them have the KR Sabers new PCB connector with all these LEDs on them. And then you don't have to move the board to get to your SD card. You can pop it in and out with your finger. If you can see it from there, it is accessible. All right. But they all have kill switches as well. This one having a 22 millimeter speaker, the other one having a 28. So there's actually 3 differences, right? So we'll come over here and flip the switch. Now, because you are a CFX guy, you didn't send me any fonts. You're just going to take care of those. I usually set up all of your Profi installs. So these are just running the stock font package, which, as I understand, you made most of. So we'll turn that on. You'll want to take this groove in your chassis right here and line it up with your switch. If you don't line it up, it's only going to go in that far. But when you turn it and find the switch, it goes in all the way. All right, and then take your pommel, screw it all the way on, and then you can hit power. So your blade connector in there is working well. You got blade locked up, and we'll turn it off. I believe this one takes, let's see, 1 inch? No, 7/8. Sorry about that. This one takes a 7/8 inch blade. So we'll put a 7/8 inch blade in here. We will lock it down. You'll need to do that. These hold the blade very well, but they don't hold the blade by themselves. You'll need to use your blade retention. I have your blade plugs in your box. Of course, they'll go out with the sabers. So we'll power this on. Now, you know, on a one-button setup, if you want blade lockup, you have to hold the switch down and hit the saber. You got blade locked up right there. That can be a little tricky to do. Spectrum. Go through some different colors. And of course, if you find something you like, just tap the power, or the switch rather, and now you got a blue blade. Mute. Whoops. If you do a long press on the switch, like I just did there, you'll go into mute mode, so you can light this up without sound, but who likes that? Right. So blue blade. And then hold the switch down, and that one is working like it should. All right, so we're going to take the blade out of this one, take the chassis out, and we'll turn it on and then flip it off with the kill switch. Now, all of these batteries are brand new, so you will want to take them out and give them a charge when you get them home. All right, so we got that on. We'll flip it off from here, and it kills power. All right, so we'll put that back in, and we'll go over the Sheen. This, of course, being the Shoto. Same concept on this guy, except you have room here for a 28 millimeter speaker that you'll see in a second. A 2-button setup, so your front plunger in the control box is power, back is auxiliary. All right, again, taking your pommel off to get to the chassis. You'll see it there, and it'll slide off into your hand. And then you've got the 2-button, or your 2 tactile switches back here. Removable 18650. Same kind of setup on your chassis here for board access, for SD card access rather. Kill switch, and then a 28 millimeter KR speaker. So we'll flip this on. Again, line up that groove with the control box. It should go right in. Screw our pommel on. Hit power. you got your LEDs firing up in there, and then auxiliary back here. We'll turn that off and put a blade in this guy too. This one also taking a 7/8 inch blade. All right, so we'll lock that down. Come over here and hit power. Now on a 2-button, regular blaster bolt setups is just tapping. Or blade lockup is holding it down. Right. We'll go through some colors. Get that blue in there. I hit power, and then now we got blue blade. Right. And we'll turn it off. So that one's working like it should as well. We'll take the blade out of this guy, set it off to the side, and we'll do the same thing we did with the other chassis. So we'll just take it back out real quick. Turn it on from outside here. You see it on, and we'll flip it off with the kill switch, and it kills power. All right, so that is your Sheen, and in fact your set of Snips. Putting this in, we'll move off and go over the set of Maul sabers, which makes the staff, or you can leave it as 2 separate sabers. So we'll go over in detail one of them because they are indeed set up exactly the same, the exact same chassis. And then after I turn this one on for you, I'll just go turn on the second one so that you can see that it works. All right, but you've got your pommel here that has a little crystal in it, so we're going to light that up. And then if you want to put the coupler in, you would just unscrew both of these, put your coupler in, and screw these back down. I'm not going to do it for the demo, but it is in your box. All right, but for now, do this over a table as well, and I'll show you why here in a second, just like that. There's no threading or anything on this guy. It's just held in by that one greebly, and as soon as the threads come out, it basically just falls out. So you want to be careful of that, all right? But then the chassis will slide out into your hand. This one is set up a little bit differently than the Snips because you have several different areas for shine through. So we got that crystal on the pommel that we talked about. You've got a clear lens here, and you've got a clear lens here. And the chassis accounted for all of those. So you have these Neopixels, one right here, and then one at the very tip, all right? And then they have 22mm speakers with your CFX board over here and the same kind of access to SD card and everything. Same PCBs. Kill switches being on the side this time. And of course you can see your tactile switches from here. So what I did with the 3 Neopixels is I wired them to the LS2 pad so that they would be doing a little something different when the saber's off. In this case, they're pulsing. They're pulsing red. When you turn the saber on, they'll go solid, as you'll see here in a second, but the color of those will always match the blade. That's how I have them set up for now. All right, so we'll come over here and flip the kill switch. You'll see these start pulsing. These 2 right here, and this one in the back. All right, so we'll go ahead and put this into the saber. Again, line up your grooves with these 2 greablies because these are your switches, power and auxiliary. All right, slide that right in there. You will need to probably come over on a table to screw that greebly in because it can be a little bit tricky until you get the hang of it. So once we screw that in, now you can see your 2 lenses are pulsing as well as your crystal in the back here. All right, and hit power. And we see these go solid. Your crystal goes solid and you've got a red blade. Auxiliary. Blade lockup. Let's throw a blade in this guy too. All right. These also take 7/8 inch blades. So 7/8 inch sabers today. Power. This is an old config I had for a Star Killer that I did with CFX. Let me turn this off real quick. And I had it set up for that little bit of a lightning ignite is what I'm trying to say. And we'll turn it off and take the blade out. All right. So this one is working like it should. So we'll take the pommel off of this guy. Oops. I'm going to leave the pommel off this saber so you know that's the first one we tested. We'll turn it on from here. Flip our kill switch and it kills power. All right, so I'll just put this off to the side for now. And we're going to go over this guy, which is exactly the same. All right, so we'll take the pommel off of here. Slide our chassis out. Exact same chassis. Same setup here and here. We'll flip our kill switch. Got some pulsing going on here and here. All right, we'll go ahead and put that in the saber. Lock down that pommel. It's not too bad once you get the hang of it. So now that's all locked down so you can see your acrylic lenses going. You can see your crystal in here in the back. And blade lock up. And we'll put a blade in it. All right. 7/8" blade. Power it up. We can go through the color menu. So you see when the blade is green, your blinkies will be green. That's not going to show up as green because your crystal, your piece of acrylic here in the back is red. So that's really going to show up red no matter what color you got. In fact, I think it's blue that makes it look like it's not lit up at all. You can kind of see it. All right. I imagine since these are Maul sabers, you'll be keeping the blade red. I just wanted to show you that these would match the color of the blade no matter what color you chose. So I'm going to go ahead and break this back down. And well, actually, no. Let's show you that that kill switch works real quick. We'll take the blade out of here. Take our pommel off. Our chassis out here. Let's turn it on. And then flip the kill switch, and it kills power. All right, now I'll just assemble all of this back together off camera because you already saw me do it a few times. But those are basically your two sets of sabers, your Darth Maul staff, and your set of Snips. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll get these out in the mail to you tomorrow. Thanks, David.